Spirit said action. So, let go. All right, well, welcome to another Holy Spirit-led love letter, divinely guided poetry, improv with the help of oracle cards and a little bit of tarot. Some readings sprinkled in there. Some like life advice, like psychology tools and spiritual tools. A little Reiki energy, a little Choku Rei and Say Hey Ki, if you know what I mean, embedded in there, and lots of love for your highest good with respect to your free will and choice of what you choose to consume. Readings are general, readings are anonymous. And in the beginning or at some point in the reading, there will be like a poem, first person, letter, love letter, that is channeled by whatever role we are embodying and studying that day. In this case today, it is, we're working on the narcissist empath connection or lack thereof, and friction or whatever you want to call it. And so we already have in the previous video look and see about the empath letter to the narcissist. Pretty straightforward. It was some great advice about how to heal and move on with your life if you are an empath or someone who's been in domestic violence or abusive scenario of pretty much any kind. We all know the cycle of violence is relative. It's very standard. You know, these are universal, applicable rules. So it may feel personal, but like I said, anonymous completely and also general. So don't take anything really personally ever. That's good advice. And also, if you resonate with it because it feels like something you can relate to, then great. I hope it helps you. I hope it applies to your highest good, and the way that you claim your destiny and the way that you move forward and heal. But if not, you know, no big deal. Just keep moving. So, without further ado, we'll do a quick spiritual warfare prayer. So, any and all demonic forces or influences or strongholds that are binding to the ears of the listener or on my channel or now or any time in the present or future, or in my voice or in my ears, may those demonic strongholds be rebuked, be cast down and bound and commanded to leave in the name of mighty Jesus Yeshua. By the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. So only Holy Spirit will be guiding these messages. Only the highest good resonance for your highest good, with the help of your ancestors, your light team, my ancestors, my light team, for my story, and whatever is best for all concerned. So with that blessing over us in the reading, our listeners are divinely protected. And this channel is cleared and protected at all times. All evil eyes fall blind, slow down and get returned before they reach us, me and my listeners, and all cords that are draining your energy, fear-based only, that are harvesting or hurting us in any type of way, may those be severed, dissolved, cleared with the help of any archangel assistance, with the free will of all concerned, respected, and with the free will respected of all concerned, and let those fear-based cords dissolve, clear, disappear. Let the wounds be cauterized with the violet flame energy of healing and disappear, and then let all, let camouflage cover us from our enemies and protect us from our enemies. So, I'm starting with the Starseed Oracle. It's been sufficiently shuffled. So just cutting the deck, what does the narcissist want to say to the empath? And I have here, longing for home, homesick for the stars, the Hiereth. Underneath that, forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. And then I remember in reverse, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. So there's definitely some nostalgia, definite nostalgia here. In terms of what the narcissist feels and what they want to say to the world, including the empath. I've always been homesick for a place. I vaguely remember before I fell into this darkness. It's like a distant memory now, but that light that used to exist at the end of the tunnel used to call me in and guide me out of my nightmare. When I would dream, I dreamed of being a leader, of being the parent I wished I had. I dreamed of the great unknown. I dreamed of letting go. I dreamed of none of this mattering. I dreamed that maybe one day they would finally see me for who I remember I used to be. Before the codependency, before the addiction, before the density, before the invasion of my boundaries, before the split personalities, before the confusion, like falling and falling and falling, never hitting rock bottom, never getting to the Emerald City, and eventually forgetting, zooming out so far that none of this really matters. Nothing really matters. Slowing down to remember, connecting with nature, letting it fall. But timing is everything, and the timing was never right. It took my trust away. It took my boundaries away. It took away my coping, my ability to cope, my physical connection, my community, my ability to learn, my ability to change. Whatever this darkness was that crept into my Emerald City, whatever these blurry lines became that split my identity and made me feel like I would never be good enough, whatever bad luck that I feel was brought to me, whatever imbalance, whatever false starts and pride that took over, that made me feel that I wasn't good enough or prosperous as others, whatever made me forget and transitioned my life from my destiny to fate. And once my fate changed and the things that I wished upon others became the things that consume me, and I was unable to work through my fears. It became the death of me. It became the poison. That I went to war with. It became the poisonous climax that reached its culmination. And when justice set in for those that I had betrayed, in romance and love, it became clear that there were much adjustments required. I had not given enough. I had taken more than I had given. I had taken a lot more than a couple of virginities. And I needed to heal, but at this point, I couldn't remember how. There was no conclusion. There was no way out of these woods. There was no adjustment on my compass that could prevent this change, this eclipse of my nothingness. The void was back. I needed to step into my North Node. I was so close. But zoomed out so far, the only way out was down, and there was no bottom to this rock bottom. I had let the past control everything about me for so long. I needed to surrender. I was so full of emotion, ready for the end of a tough cycle. But again, every time I felt like I was winning, I was reminded nothing is yet set in stone. And things do matter. There is such a thing as too late. When you don't make the first move, when you don't move in the right direction, when you don't balance, when you hold off on that change or those fresh starts. Free yourself like I couldn't do. Free yourself from my cage. Free yourself from my bondage. Love yourself first. I have to hide behind a web of lies just to keep people from learning that I have such a lack of self-respect. That inside I feel so ugly. The only thing I can pray for at this point is for other people to fail or to never figure out my lies. Every time someone new comes on my radar, time apart from them is not far from that moment. She was the one that got away. That was the romance of a lifetime. I should have kept an open mind. I should have asked for help and support from others. I should have trusted when I had the chance. There were too many family issues, too much addiction, too much codependency, too much lack of expression of love. So go ahead and let your loved ones know. The narcissist says, let your loved ones know how you feel. Express your love to them while you have the chance, because there is always someone waiting to suck up that joy, that desire, that passion, that goodness inside of you that wants to keep hoping in the love of everyone else. There's always a stealthy, self-interested, cunning, sly, and crafty fox lying in wait, setting a trap, ready to steal your woman, ready to steal your future. And you better believe that if you don't handle your blessings carefully, these people are powerful, but not in the sense that they hold any weight, but rather in the sense that attitude is everything. And when you doubt yourself, when you hesitate, when you let your problems collude and clutter your mind, when it becomes unclear and confusion and indecision take hold, and you let them, misunderstandings can occur. It is much, much better to clear the clouds, let the thoughts come and go and pass as clouds do in a storm. Every storm runs out of rain. So communicate. Stay in your community. Pull the weeds that gather in your garden. Water your garden. Connect to your community. It's a much happier reward that comes from planting seeds of kindness, of gentleness, of strength. There's good fortune, there's good luck that comes from living a carefree, unexpected, adventurous life. Expecting happy coincidences, being grateful for the chance to have flings with the divine and to flirt with nature. Even when home is in disarray, even when death happens, there's a promise. There's a promise always of clear guidance on the horizon, clear communication from the divine, clear warnings when things are running low in your energy centers and you need to replenish, or when you're dealing with a karmic or a narcissist that you need to cut off. When these stalemates approach and you're told you need to back out, delay, block someone, that when a tower is approaching, you'll be warned. And you need to use tact and diplomacy to balance these situations. Meditate and listen to your inner guidance system and give things time before you respond, especially to invitations of like going out or dating someone new, or there's justice here. There's children, agreements, marriages, 'tis the season. There's the lighthouse, the tower, the Eiffel Tower. There's opportunities here. There's new hope. There's a future. There's a future beyond narcissistic abuse, even for the narcissist. And there's a chance at having a family. There's a chance at alliances, commitment, future commitment, closure even. You may not get it from the narcissist. There's a chance for excitement, for a fiery climax, for wish fulfillment. And if you're waiting on that light bulb moment, that aha revelation or that permission from the universe to move on, this is it. Consider this your permission to persist, to be determined, to repeat, making your dreams real, at shedding light on your situation, on any kind of patterns of, any kind of karmic patterns that possibly, addictions, codependency, bondage, feeling trapped or bound to emotional baggage, being in unhappy relationships. Let's flip that and turn it into victory, recognition, success, wins. Give yourself a celebration for those little wins, those ambitions and achievements, that those harmonious communications, at those times when you're able to collaborate, when the soul sparks and you have those aha moments, those inner fire gets lit again, and those inner fires get lit again, and the passion is rediscovered. You can always question yourself and ask yourself, why do I do what I do? What is my purpose? What is my mission statement? Rewrite the mission statement. Rewrite what your definition of success is. What do you think makes someone very exceptional and successful? What attracts you to that? Where's the magic in that? Rise above the adversity. Use the strategy and skill and focus of your higher self, of that intuition we spoke of. So there's going to be a lot of people out here, misery loves company. You need to stay in your North Node. You can Google and look up what the North Node represents, and the grasshopper came out too. There's a lot of animal nature spirits that want to help guide you to this adventure, this journey, this movement. There's some travel here, some promises, some opportunities. Life after narcissistic abuse is very beneficial. You can really bounce back. There's justice here. There's the Libras are coming out. There's so much justice, and the full moon, culmination, manifestations. Yes, it is complicated. It can be puzzling. You can end up in these complicated conundrums, these obstacles that just seem insurmountable. But there is protection here. There is guidance. Pay attention to nature. Pay attention to what it's sharing with you about how to protect yourself. The grasshopper, for example, is all about, they can jump so far. They're very, very, oh my God. That's actually one of their defense mechanisms, is they leap randomly. They don't know where they're going to land. So it's kind of like a gamble every time. They can jump so far away that the predator can't even find them or see where they go. So they randomly will do it when they're in danger, but it's also a gamble, because the downside of that defense is that if they might end up in a more dangerous place than they started. But they are easygoing. They're good luck for abundance and wealth. We keep getting a lot of good finance messages too from this. So maybe cutting that person off, that karmic, that narcissist, cutting them off will take you out of that mountain of basically shame, over this bridge on that ship, breaking the barriers across the sea to that abundance, because where it will pour in. I feel like the karmics and these people that like, they want to basically, they want to turn, like I said, misery loves company, and there's a lot of this like wanting to turn people into that like worse than they are or as bad as them, so that I mean, this, I'm trying to speak generally, I could be more specific, but this applies to like all personality disorders and just misery in general, like people and also like the competition style of that kind of competitive society that we represent. So because of that, across the world really, so basically like people are so competitive that they just can't deal with like not being, the ego can't accept not being like the best, or like getting all the attention. So people will set the bar lower so that it's easier for them to be lazy and exceed. And then in the people like who are like they say, like, you know, people that try to evolve and are very committed to their evolution, their recovery, their healing, those people end up being bullied by these others who want to be lazy and set the bar low, because, you know, it makes them look bad, or it like reveal, they say that your light irritates their demons, but really like it's like, yeah, your free spirit just makes them look, just reveals their bondage. It enlightens everyone around you, and you're an innovator. I mean, if you embrace the unknown, you just jump in and do it. You're a leader. If you're original, if you're truthful, honest, if you're a rebel in any type of way, you know, with or without a cause, you know, if you've broken rules to help someone and it was just what you did, you're going to challenge someone. So these animal spirits that came out, a couple of pairs too. So there's some beautiful pairs appearing here, just to remind you that here the storks are facing one another, the looms, the little ducks, are facing away. The storks are perched up high, representing transformation, change, activity, renewal, arrival, departures, like the beginning of a new journey, renovation, pregnancies and births, new beginnings after following endings. So just remember that. Oh, and here's the wolf too. Now we've got two singles and two pairs of these animals that just keep pouring out to help. Animals are very sympathetic to narcissistic injuries and domestic violence and PTSD and everything else. They will help with, cats are very helpful for spiritual injuries and protection. Dogs are for more material protection and guidance. And the wolf is a great spirit guide to help you channel your confidence. Always try to cultivate those values again. You want to get your luck. Ladybug and bear just came out too. You want to get your luck back, your vibrancy, your abundance, your happiness, your comfort. Focus on your hobbies. There's a lot of birth coming out here. So if you are pregnant, congratulations. And just, there's the bear, you know, be the boss of your own life. Take charge. Be protective of yourself. Try not to like fall into that paranoia. Remember the balance. Be strong. Work out. Focus on your muscles. Focus on being free. Know how resilient you are. Believe in your power. The looms are about commitment. Just like the storks kind of bring about the messages of change. The looms are more, they float on the surface of the water, but they're about family. They reawaken the lost hopes. It's like they pop their little heads out of that depth of that murky water, and they probably have something to eat or something to say. And they're a representation of the manifestation of your deep desires. I love how one's looking this way, one's looking that way, and it's nice how they have each other's backs like that. And the storks are kind of cuddling. And the grasshopper has a great advice for us. So what? Don't worry. Move on. and they're good luck. They say good luck. Also, we have birth of a daughter and birth of a son, so maybe you're having twins. Maybe I'm having twins. I don't know. We'll see. And then, I wanted to read from the recovery book. So let's, recovery book of meditations. Let's see how we're going to pull to a random page. Here it is. Any advice, from the narcissist to the empath or vice versa. Number 23, there are no big deals. The point is, said Tyler, that the drama we see played out against the backdrop of time and history is first of all an internal drama. Remember that life works from the inside out, not the other way around. That's one of the things recovery teaches us. Oh my God, this is such a hard lesson for me to learn my role in the narcissistic abuse, to learn what did I do, what role did I play, how am I responsible for absolutely everything that's happened to me without victim blaming, without being pity party, poor me, woe is me type of self, and all that. Oh man, it's so tough. But that was said by Edward Bear, who was a contemporary author and dispenser of wisdom. So here's the elaboration from the meditation book. Being stuck in traffic is not a big deal. Being stuck in traffic with a half gallon of ice cream melting in a grocery bag is not a big deal. You stuck in traffic, ice cream melting in the grocery bag on your way to a wedding is not a big deal. You stuck in traffic with ice cream running down the seat of your car 30 minutes late for your wedding still isn't a big deal. Get it? There aren't any big deals. Recovery is about finding balance. This usually means adjusting down the crisis mode. Everyone has car trouble at some time or another. When yours breaks down, is your first impulse to call AAA or 911? The 911 syndrome is a fear-driven frenzy. Think of it this way. As you are spinning out of control, the flight or fight response is intensifying. Your ears are buzzing. Adrenaline gushes through your body. Does this remind you of anything? Are you recreating a binge? Are you having a flashback? A quick and sure way out of the fear loop is by grounding yourself firmly in the here and now. Make sensory contact with your environment. For example, I am in my car. I'm wearing jeans. There are 4 walls around me. There is a ceiling over my head. There's a blanket around me, weighing me down, making me feel safe. I have food in my belly, and there's really nothing to worry about. Make sensory contact with your environment. Keep breathing. Underneath big dealing lurks that old bugaboo, fear. You've seen how some animals puff themselves up to scare predators away. Well, that's what you're doing. The elephant in the picture doesn't need to do that. She's already the biggest kid on the block. The next time you start into the 911 syndrome, call on your inner elephant to help. So channel that inner spirit animal. You got the wolf, the ladybug, the bear, the ducks, the grasshopper, and the stork. So if you gotta run, fly away, or grasshopper, hop away, duck like the ducks, swim away. If you gotta fight like a wolf or a bear, or run with a pack, or fly like a ladybug, or save a rose bush by eating a whole horde of aphids. Whatever it takes, learn from each individual nature spirit or any of your heroes, and find what qualities in them help you and protect yourself and find confidence. Use this as a reminder that you have an inner elephant waiting to help. Your fear is exaggerated by feeling you have no choice. Let's draw 3 cards and see if our options increase. It's not over. Okay? And remember, breathing calms your nerves. Practice taking elephant breaths as we draw these 3 cards. If you want to stomp your feet like an elephant 4 good times, feel yourself rooted, feel yourself grounded, feel your feet get heavy, your sacrum and your lower spine grow heavy, and weigh you into the safe, warm, moist soil of Mother Earth, where we live, where we reside currently, temporarily, but safely, because she loves us very much and nourishes us and provides us with everything we need. We're gonna draw right now. Oh, we got 2. Okay. And then one more. You have an option. Card 1, card 2, card 3. See if any of these call out to you before I flip them so that you know which one you felt to be the most helpful. Like the one you predict to be the most helpful. And then that's just the fun exercising your intuition. Door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Ask yourself before you get the answer, what message do I need to hear the most that will be the most helpful to me today? And then pause. See if there's a number pops out to you, whether in an image, a color, or you're just drawn, your eyes are drawn to a particular card left to right, 1 through 3. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. First card, whatever your ideal is, be willing to grow toward it. Card number 50. So whatever your ideal is, be willing to grow toward it. Creativity is its own reward, by Julia Cameron, an author and teacher. So, like, our ideal is who the Creator knows we are. The message of that card is that when we heal, we dig through our debris and our rubble of our past, whether it's a relationship, an addiction, whatever, to recover the vision of who we really are, the truth of who we really are. And the only thing we have to really do to get to this quest is to be willing to grow toward it and go within. So don't look out there to find the divine. Find it inside yourself through the stages, one step at a time, through the levels of consciousness. And then trust that evolution is divinely guided. So this is a reminder that growing towards your ideal happens inside of you. It is the natural unfolding of your soul. You're inevitably in the right place at the right time. The ideal self, like a reflection of your maker, is about truth and love, and you begin to reflect these qualities through your actions in the world as naturally as breathing. Where do you go to feed your support in the areas of money? How do you feel supported in friendships? How do you feel supported about your time management, your time? And what do you do to feed your comfort zone? How do you grow? How do you challenge it? And how do you nourish it? Okay, card number 2. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Oh, I like that. That's card number 3. Actually, I mean, it's card number 2, but labeled with the 3. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. That's Albert Einstein from the 20th century. I like how they changed stupid to sweetheart. You don't have to call yourself bad names anymore. You've done that enough. The truth of saying and the need to be reminded of keeping things simple is appropriate, though. We tend to complicate simple things and oversimplify the complex things. Complication is really a smokescreen to hide from feelings. It makes your thinking foggy. To clear up the past, you just have to clear the fog by keeping things simple. Don't hype up and embellish the stories. Undo complication by avoiding the trauma drama. Don't talk about this narcissistic abuse anymore. Stop telling the story. Stop trying to use it as street currency and compare yourself to others or read about it or watch about it on YouTube. It's not all black and white. It doesn't have to be either this way or that way, now or never. People are with us or against us. Like I said, narcissism is a spectrum. Let's just say we don't know. We can't diagnose everybody. We don't know why people do everything that they do, even if you have a degree in psychology. Yeah. This is a reminder that hardly anything about life can be neatly placed in the either or box. There may be more going on below the surface inside of you than you are aware of. Take this opportunity to tap in and find out how you feel about the question you are facing. Much of this confusion clears right up. Once feelings are acknowledged, the either or limit ends. Possibilities open that didn't seem to be there before. Stop trying to avoid your feelings. Next time you feel something, just sit with it. Just ask it, do you have any messages for me? Why is this my emotions? Why do I feel this way? How do I feel? Why? Where is it coming from? and just sit and listen to the silence, to the answers until they come. Once feelings are acknowledged, the either or limit ends. The now or never, us or them, black and white thinking ends, and possibilities open that didn't seem to be there before. The spectrum is seen at that point. Okay, card number 3, and then we'll wrap this up. We don't have to do it alone anymore. And this is also about what helps about there being no big deals, because there is always assistance. Whether you need to call a professional or you need to pay someone, no matter what's going on, you can find assistance for your problems, even healing from any kind of abuse. Community is that group of people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. By Starhawk, another priestess and author. Recovery isn't self-help. It's a group effort. There's a common purpose, keeping one another away from abuse, clean and sober, keeping one another present, helping out a newcomer, as they say. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to carry this baggage alone. So, fellow travelers, find one another under these unexpected circumstances. We don't have to do it alone anymore. After years of not feeling understood and not understanding ourselves, it feels good to spend time with those with whom we connect at the soul level. We know how people who have been abused feel as going through it ourselves, and that empathy seems to be a very healing connection. It's also what is lacking in narcissistic abuse. If you have drawn this card, see if your basket's lopsided. Are you carrying it alone again? Even if the task you are involved in is one you must do by yourself, you can still share your experiences with others as you go. This basket has 2 handles. Who can you imagine has a hand on the other side of yours? Who do you have to share the load with? That isn't your partner or your abuser, you know? Stop going to the person who hurt you and asking them to carry your basket. They're just adding to the load. They're not carrying anything. How do you feel when you see these 2 women on the card carrying that load together of the basket? Have you had an experience of sharing a burden? Have you had an experience of sharing a joy with someone? Nothing like that. What if the basket contained a picnic lunch instead of something negative? Call a friend today. Let her know how much you appreciate having her in your life, or him, and plan a picnic together. That's what you should do. Okay, you guys, I'd like to wrap up. Thank you for listening. It's kind of hard to, empathize with the narcissist, but I wanted to try to do that today. I want to try to speak from their point of view, maybe tell a little bit, besides the usual excuses that you hear from them, what's really going on and how they feel lost. I think that's really what we're seeing here. They feel fragmented, refracted, lost, falling in a never-ending pit of despair, and they have to try to tear everyone else down. But like I said, knowing misery loves company. You don't have to stick around these people that are in these patterns so that you become just like them. That's exactly the end result. And if you stick around doing this and tolerating that kind of abuse for much longer, you will end up like them. You'll end up a karmic. You'll give up your gifts, your abundance, your values, and eventually your soul and your self-worth and your identity to become karmic, and your status and your... why, Like I said, it's like being the CEO of McDonald's and then like working as a cashier for minimum wage, just leaving for no reason. So, here's a journal suggestion from There Are No Big Deals. Make a list of choices you have when the 911 syndrome hits of that fear. Thinking, I call it the Chicken Littling. The sky is falling. For example, make a list. I can relax. What can you do when something bad happens? I can breathe. I can pause. I can let my head clear up before doing anything. I can do a quick reality check. I can call a friend. I can go to a meeting. I can keep it simple. I can evolve. I can change. I don't have to live in the past. I don't have to repeat the past, no matter what happened. I can channel my inner elephant, or my inner dragon, or my inner bear, or wolf, or ladybug, or grasshopper. If the inner elephant idea works, make friends with her. What's her name? What is she like? And how does she behave in a crisis? And how can you be more like your heroes? And remember, breathing calms your nerves. Let's take a couple more elephant breaths. All the way up to the crown. Pause at the tippy top of that breath. Draw your awareness up to your third eye. And send that breath down to your heavy elephant feet. One more in from your feet all the way to the tippy top of your crown. Burst open that crown. Wide open. Beautiful breath of exhale. After the pause, push the breath down through your body, all that white, beautiful, sparkling, cosmic light of love, pure divine source energy, pulsing through your whole aura, cleansing and clearing and saving and blessing your space inside and out. Thank you for committing to your healing. Thank you for taking this opportunity to learn and find some guidance, and hopefully these messages helped you. Thank you so much, and blessings. Have a great day.